Welcome all of you. My name is Maria Kondzielska and you're watching Poland Daily Culture. Today more Poland Daily Modern Art, because we will talk about what's going on in the U-jazdowski Castle Contemporary Center for Contemporary Art. And with us is Agnieszka Kolek, the curator of the museum. Again, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Madam, you have so many projects right now in the center that I would say it's hard to visit them all in one day. Definitely one has to have more time and space and time. But there is currently we talk a lot also in public discussions, in newspapers, at the universities, about something called cultural wars. And as I understand, you have a project especially devoted to this problem.
Yes, it's called. It's a series of discussions called Culture Tensions, because together with Manik Govinda, who is a co-curator of this series, together with myself, we decided that if you call it culture wars, if you decide this is a war, obviously someone has to win and someone else has to lose. And it becomes straight away black and white, and there's nothing in between. So we decided that, of course, there are difficult subjects and opposing views, and there is a tension. So these are actually culture tensions, and it's worth to allow people to show both of their sides what it seems they completely opposing themselves, but also show what is in between, and then try to challenge anyone and everyone. What about those? Do you have a view on that? Or can you solve this issue? Because I think if you position yourself in this black and white world, both sides claim to have solutions. But then when you actually talk about this nuance in between, both of the sides are struggling because things are not so easy and simple as black and white. The series of discussions happen every 2 months. The first one was in January and was about art and migration, because together with Manik, we had this experience that there is only one view allowed in the art sphere, in the culture, towards migration. That means open borders, no problem, there is no issues involved. We know a lot of artists that actually they have a more nuanced view and they have something to say, and a lot of them actually also have originate from countries that, let's say, there were artists from Britain, so they were originating from Yemen, an artist from Denmark, but her origins were back from Iran, an artist that her father was going back to Middle East, but mother was going back to Poland and Lithuania, and she was born in Britain. So different views on that. Then in March, we talk about the sacred and profane, and looking at how it seems in the popular culture that having any sort of spirituality, actually it's something to be laughed at, and it only is shown in a view of being backwards or fundamentalist, yeah, so kind of a simplified.
Simplified, shows usually as a lack of knowledge and not a difference.
Yes, like being uneducated. And we try to unpack that together with an art critic. Looking at that, how spirituality is being shown in arts, especially after the war until now. Also with an art critic, writer and historian, Jan Tarnas from the Polish side. And we had an artist, Byzantia Harlow, who actually works also as a psychic. So, and it was really fascinating discussion that actually we started to see that a lot of people are actually striving to develop this spiritual side to themselves, because it's a source of strength and it's a source of something you can lean on in the difficult times, but also something that keeps you in check, that you don't run off with some ideals and you don't look at the results of your ideals in the real world, which I think quite a lot of us now can see, where people have no religion, no spiritual system behind them, and they have this natural need of making world a better place. They can easily become this kind of new Puritans that are trying to put everyone in place.
A new form of religion as
exactly,
well.
A new form of religion that claims not to be the religion. It's even cultish, you could say. And then the third discussion we had was about women rights to choose, meaning whether she chooses to have an abortion or she chooses to have a child. And we were looking.
Very difficult topic.
Very difficult topic, and a lot of people were afraid to come physically to the discussion because they were afraid to be seen in a place like this. And And we try to look at art, whether there is only one position allowed, whether there is more nuance to that. And for example, we had this, we discussed this work from Damien Hirst that was commissioned by Qatari government in front of the maternity hospital, and it was showing the development of the fetus until the time of birth in a womb, and it was in stages, and it was called Miracle of Life. And what was interesting for me, there were a lot of people really having a strong reaction online to us posting this work, saying like, oh, it's just pro-life, you know, kind of expression and fundamentalist and backwards. Where I found it more fascinating that this was taken out of context of a woman, because in Qatar you cannot show a naked body.
Oh,
so then for me it was more fascinating that you can see the journey of life, but this is like detached from where is it from and what is it attached to. This is just a womb and the baby is developing, but forget about the woman. Where is she? She's gone. She's not there. So I think in a sense we're trying to challenge these comfortable places of I know I'm right and you are wrong, and bring people into a wider sphere of discussing things. So the next discussion is in July. And it's about the art of manipulation, whether art is being used for social engineering, what is the role of art between nations and supranationalist organizations like United Nations and World Health Organization, and how culture and art is being financed, and then what results do we have when we look at that, and what does it really mean for us, meaning us as public that comes to view the art and in a sense consumes it or is close to it, and then how does it form our awareness of the world and trying to understand the world. And then in September we look at art and identity.
Here and talk more about this discussion in the next episode. But first, of course, we invite you in July to U-jazdowski Castle, the Center for Contemporary Art, for this culture tension and the coming discussion of artists in organizations in the world politics and over national organizations. So this is the one which we definitely, all of you, invite you to participate in. So come visit Warsaw, and if you visit Warsaw, definitely visit the Center for Contemporary Art. And again, thank you very much for watching our show.